Greetings and welcome to Make Programming Fun Again. My name is Karol Moros, and in this video we are going to build a waiting list website for my YouTube channel. So the reason I'm building this is because somebody in the comments has recently asked me to create a Discord server for my YouTube channel. And while I do think having a Discord server would be beneficial for the channel, I do not think it is currently possible to have like a lively community. So I just thought, well, yes, we could do it if we get like a large amount of people willing to actually join the Discord and be active. So in this video, I'm going to build a website, or more specifically a web application in Go, and we will be using, I think the stack will be pretty simple. We're just going to use like maybe a chi router and probably just simple Go templates. We probably do not need Temple for this, and we are going to use SQLite for the backend database. So let me start. I have already created a directory, so I'm going to go ahead and create a Go module. So I now have a Go module, and I can initialize the Git repository. And it's going to ask me to sign it. Okay, great. So now I think I'm going to do the regular hello world thing. Something like this. Okay, great. The next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to need to install chi router, which is like a router for net HTTP. And yep, this line. Okay, and then we're going to need modern C's implementation of SQLite. This is an implementation of SQLite without C code. I think it was just directly ported to Go. And this way we do not need to worry about CGO. And CGO can be a pain when you are working with different operating systems. For example, right now I am developing on macOS, but I may want to deploy it on Linux. I probably will deploy it on Linux or like FreeBSD in one of the next videos. Okay, I think I may also use SQL-C. I think SQL-C does support SQLite, doesn't it? What supported programming languages and databases? SQLite in beta. Yeah, I guess. So I'm going to need to install SQL-C. And on macOS, using Homebrew is really the easiest way. I already have it. Oh no, I do not have it. I thought I had it, but it was on a different computer. Okay. And I'm going to use a library called Derenv, and Derenv is like a tool that will help me set environment variables. I think it's like, I think the syntax is something like this, and then export Goose. Oh yes, because we are also going to need Goose. So Goose is a migration tool, and we are going to install it using Go tool. Yes, so this is a feature from Go 1.24. So go get-u this. No, wait. Like this. Yes, and in the meantime, we could do some configuration. Goose driver equals SQLite, and then export goose db string equals database URL, export goose migration dir equals db migrations, like so. And I'm also going to need to create this directory for migrations, and during allow. So this is going to set all of these environment variables in the working directory. So for example, right now the database URL, no, okay, echo, it's echo, not export, like so. Okay, can I open this? Will it work like this? Create table test ID integer, invalid URI authority. Okay, so can I do it something like this? Direnv SQLite 3 database URL, like this. I'm going to, okay, invalid URI authority. So what is the actual format of your database string? Is it just the name of a file? Create table test ID integer. Okay, yes, so now we do have a development database, and we can now ignore it in git ignore. Okay, yes, like this. And then we can also ignore the file called server, because this is what we are going to call our the binary of this server. So we can do something like this: go build our server, this directory, and then make build is going to create a server binary. Okay, so now in a main we can probably start by creating a database table for the waiting list. So create waiting list SQL. Okay, and now create table waiting list. It's going to contain, I think I can safely use integers, because this is going to be like a single node. So int primary key auto increment. Email is going to be a binary, and it doesn't really matter what we write here, because this is just because SQLite doesn't really have types. And I'm using a byte array because I want to encrypt those emails at rest, because this is like PII, not null unique. And then inserted is going to be big int, not null default Unix epoch, and then updated at like this. And then recorded something like name text, not now. We will probably want the user to write something about themselves. And we could add something like a bio. I'm not going to make it not null. I want to allow the users to not specify their bio. And then I'm also going to add a region, which is going to be text. And then we want to specify that the region must be 2 characters. must be exactly 2 characters long because we want it to be an ISO code. And then I'm probably also going to add some brain dead questions at the end. And then for down, I'm going to just do drop table waiting list, like so. Goose up. Okay. In the meantime, I think we could try configuring SQL-C. I think I'm just going to blatantly copy some information from other projects. So this is my other project, and I'm going to just copy the SQL-C part and SQL-C.yaml version 2 SQL. Okay, so this is going to be SQLite. Migrations are going to be here, and then in gen, like this. Emit pointers for null types true, emit results struct pointers true. And then initialisms is going to be ID. And what else do we get? Let's see. SQL-C generate. No queries containing paths. Okay, mkdir db-squeal. And then in db-squeal, we create list squeal, name select count waiters maybe. Select count from waiting list. Okay. So now in queries, what do we get? Int 6, okay. This looks fine. I think for email, okay, like for email later on, I'm going to use like a different type, so we can encrypt it. For now, I'm just going to leave it unencrypted. Goes down, create waiting list. This is going to be just text. Okay, goose up, SQL-C generate. So now this becomes a string, and I can close this file. Okay, great. So then we're also going to need a function to insert a waiter. So we can say insert into waiting list, email, name, bio, region, values, this 1, 2, 3, 4, returning everything basically. Wait, what? No, okay, wait. It should return 1 like this. Extraneous input end of file expecting. Okay, I think it's expecting me to use this type of placeholders. Am I right? Okay, good. So now in models, what do we get? What do we get in queries? In list squeal go. Okay, yes, the insert waiter params looks correct. So using this one simple trick, we got some valid queries, and I think this is a good moment to commit. Git add, git commit set up SQLC and Goose. Okay. And now I think what we could do now is we could set up this an actual router. So we can do it first in main. I usually create the router in handlers and router.go. So package handlers, func router. It's going to take a pointer to a database, and it's going to return an HTTP handler. So r equals chi new router, r use middleware logger, like this, r use middleware real IP, and we have a recover. We do have a recover, and I think logger goes at the end, and then we return r. Okay, and now in main.go we can do const listen on equals 3000. We can say listening on this port, and log fatal HTTP listen and serve listen on, and the router is going to be handlers router, are like this. And now we are also going to need a database connection. So db error equals SQL open like this. We're going to need a driver, and we are going to need so I'm going to paste this. This line is like an idiom in Go. It basically means we need to import this package for its initialization code. You're not going to actually use this code directly, but we are going to need its the SQL driver. It's going to we're going to need the SQL driver. It's going to import to register. And now in here, if error is not nil, log fatal error. And then for now, I'm just going to hard code it as devdb. But later on, we should import this. We should actually inject this variable from environment variables. So let's see. Okay, now it's listening. We are probably going to get a 404. Yep, we're getting a 404, but at least we get something. Okay, so now we can implement a controller that will display like the main page, or we could just call it page controller, I guess. So package handlers, type page controller struct. It's going to have a pointer to the database, and then we can have a page controller constructor that's going to take a pointer to the database, and it's going to return a pointer to page controller like this. And then we can define a method on this page controller called index. It's going to take an HTTP response writer and a pointer to a request. So we can do something like fetch count of existing waiters and then render the page. Okay, why don't we get SQL.db? Import database SQL. Okay, why don't we get like proper formatting? I think something is off. Page controller. Yeah, okay. I had to restart the editor. Okay, so I'm going to need I think I'm going to need those queries. If I'm right, if I'm correct. Context, query row context. Wait, what does the DB use? Is it okay? I think it's SQL TX. Okay, so actually I think I should be using queries dbtx. It's an interface type. No, it's okay. I'm just going to use SQL.db directly. I'm always going to be using SQL.db, so there is no point using this interface. So count error equals pdb, okay, queries new pdb count waiters with the context of the request. If error is not nil, then we can render an error, and with basically we just render a 500 and we can abort the request. And then we are going to need some sort of templates. And I think we could kind of implement it inside of handlers. And I guess I'm going to start with index dot I think it was like HTML TMPL. Yep, this is there is no like actual one proper way to there is no fixed extension for Go HTML templates, but I think this one is HTML.html.tmpl is the extension that lets NeoVim interpret this file as a Go template. So I think we're just going to start with a hello world thing, and then I think we can just use it in here. We can just try to embed this in this file. So package templates, and then we're going to have a var embed.fs, go embed all HTML TMPL files in here. Okay. Must import embed, okay. Oh yeah, okay, var fs embed fs. So now we can define our templates. So equals template must template new index HTML parse fs and yeah, the first argument is fs, and then it's going to be index html tmpl. And does it compile? Declared and it use count. Okay. Templates, index template. It's a template. Okay, does it have? Okay, execute with writer, and we're going to pass. Yeah, I think for now we're just going to pass the count because it doesn't really matter. So in here we can do something like there are currently this is just going to embed the number. People on the waiting list. Okay. So now in the router we can say that if we get if we request to get the home page, we are getting this a particular controller. So like so. So now I think we got an error. Okay. So not only should we log the error like this, but we should also wait. 0 bytes. Okay, log print error. What's actually happening like in here? Index template execute count, and why is nothing rendering? What if I delete this? Still nothing. What if I call it HTML TMPL or something like this? Okay, yes, so I had to name this the same as the actual template file. Okay, so the good news is that we are rendering things. Okay, I think it's a good moment to commit. And now we are going to need some styling. And I think I always have to check how to set it up. So chi asset serve static assets. Yeah, I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to say body font family system UI, and then in handlers, how do we define it like this? Strip. Yeah, there was like a snippet that I always. Okay, strip prefix effects. Okay, so fs equals http file server http dir assets and the router handle assets this. HTTP strip prefix assets from fs. Okay, and now in these templates you're going to have to link this style sheet. So yeah, I'm going to move it here. Okay, so now it did not treat this as an HTML file, but it's okay. We can just tell it it's an HTML file, right? So writer, header, add, content type, what was it? Text HTML, char set equals UTF-8, like this. So now, great. So now it's treating the website as an HTML file. And I think it's a good time to commit. Set up CSS static asset serving. Okay, and now I want to look at some inspiration from other people who set up websites like this. Yeah, I paused the recording while I was signing in. Do we have a category for like a waiting list? Maybe this, and maybe this. Okay, so we are going to need like a success page. What does, okay. How old is this a particular? If we are mentioning BEM, it means it's like really old. What about this? Mm-hmm. Is there like an actual waiting list website, or? Okay, I'm just going to kind of freestyle it. Also, I wanted to, like later on, I want to set up hot reloading for the page, because it doesn't make sense to just keep restarting the server. So there is this reloading tool called mod. I always forget how it's who wrote it. So what we want to do is we go get -tool and go install tool. So now I can set up a mod.conf file, and it's going to that's going to restart the application whenever something changes. So for any Go file or any HTML TMPL file, we want to rebuild we want to rebuild the application, and we want to restart the server. like so. So now, okay. So now it's going to restart when we change something, okay? And now in here, what we can do is I kind of want to define a layout, and I'm not exactly sure how to do it with like raw Go templates. So I think yeah, I'm going to start with this HTML5 this HTML5 emmet, and do you have something like can we render a template if defined? Hold on. I don't know, like can we it's kind of difficult to wait. Yeah, I'm just going to define it no matter what. So can you get like a template title, template body, like this, and then I'm going to copy this. Can I like and then I'm going to define title as join the waiting list, and then I'm going to define this as the body. So like so, and then in the templates we're going to parse layout HTML TMPL and this. So now now it's failing, okay? And why is it failing? How do I define templates again? Yeah, I think there's like an idiom about like related to how to parse like multiple files. Golang templates layout. No, it doesn't mention anything about layouts. Okay. Base template. about this? No. Okay, but okay, so I think I should empty this particular variable. But okay, no, it still doesn't display parse files. I think there was like a different way to do it. I always get it wrong. No, obviously this still doesn't work correctly. Okay, I think this doesn't work correctly because we are rendering it in a different order. Okay, now we are not rendering anything. Yeah, there's like a lot of templates, inheritance, and layouts. Wait, did I define the template incorrectly or what? Missing value for block clause. Okay, so now index. No, it's still not working correctly. What if I just do it like without, like this? Okay. Well, but I'm going to need the new format whenever I'm going to use my like the custom helpers. So how long have I been recording? 50 minutes. Okay, I think it's a good time to commit. And maybe add, like, I'm probably just going to define separate templates for different pages. And create some empty files for them. And then in the router and the page controller, we could no, I don't think I'm going to do it in the page controller. I'm going to do it in waiter controller. And by waiter, I mean a person waiting on the list, and not like a person that serves it at a restaurant, right? I'm probably not going to need a database pointer right now, so I'm going to omit it, and func waiter controller. This is going to be the constructor. I'm going to take, okay, yeah, it's probably easier to just actually store it and not use it, and I have to add it later on, right? So return pointer to waiter controller with dp, and then pointer to waiter controller is going to, I'm going to define a new action with http a response writer and a pointer to a request. And then I'm just going to directly I'm just going to directly render a form page. So in the page controller, we have this snippet where we say header add, and count this is just going to be nil for now, and we want to use form template instead. Okay, so now if I define this route in the router, I can add a new route, so something like sign up, or like a join maybe. So then in index.html, I can add a button to say join the waiting list. And I'm going to give it a class of button CTA. It doesn't correspond to anything as of yet, but we'll get there. And then in form HTML, I'm just going to add some body, so that like define title sign up. And here define body. What can we say? Yeah, I'm just going to add yeah, we are going to add some more text later on, but for now we have two separate views, which is already pretty nice. And I think I generally enjoy writing simple applications like this. I think it is a great exercise, and I'll finish for today. I think there will probably be at least like 20 people in the world that may enjoy watching this type of videos. So if you do, please like. If you are new, you may want to subscribe so you can see how I am actually going to build this website and then deploy it to something like VPS or Fly.io. And I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.